All right, everyone, happy Thursday afternoon. I'm King 5, Meteorologist Adam Claibon, here to go over the changes in the forecast today. We have more storms on the way. I know some of you already saw some storms this morning. We got another opportunity later this afternoon. We're going to talk about a lot more widespread rain to come to by tomorrow, and we'll go over that drought monitor. We usually talk about it every Thursday. New one just released this morning. We'll give you a look at that and talk about a warm-up on the way after the cool down that we're going to see here over the next few days. First, let's go ahead and take a look outside and what's happening there, where you can see a lot more of the clouds in place, keeping things a bit chillier here, or at least cooler. Not going to call them chilly. We'll get up to around seasonal averages for some of those highs, but Seattle sopped in with the clouds, the same for Tacoma right now. And looking at what we're dealing with later this afternoon, yeah, we do have thunderstorm possibility within some of those storms, and we're seeing that generally across the entire state, but it's east, and I mean farther east, getting closer to Spokane, that we could have the possibility of maybe a few severe storms. And that's with this line anywhere east of that line that I just drew. That's where you can have the opportunity of maybe noticing some stronger wind gusts within some of those storms, possibly some larger hail too. Not a concern for us over this way on this side of the state, but we still have the possibility of maybe some small hail within some of those cells that could come through as we go deeper on into the day. And while the rain is going to help out with the drought monitor, we don't really have poor conditions here across western Washington, but we could use some water here into some of our soils. You can see across the Cascades, dealing with abnormally dry soil there, and across some parts of central and south sound as well. Farther north across the state, it looks like mainly the San Juan Islands and parts of Whatcom County dealing with that abnormally dry soil. And we're going to see more rain, especially by tomorrow, so we should make some improvements with that here as we go into next week's release. Tomorrow, definitely the wettest day, the chilliest day too, with highs only in the low 50s. We start to bump those numbers up a little bit by Saturday, upper 50s there, and then 60s possibly by the time we head into Sunday. And I think each day we're going to see fewer chances of rain. Saturday not quite as wet as Friday, and then Sunday not quite as wet as what we're expecting Saturday to be as we go deeper on into the weekend. Windermere Cup though, if you're trying to head out there, make sure that you're bringing something to protect yourself from the rain and just to keep warm too. Now, we've seen the cool down today because yesterday we were one of the warmer spots here in the Pacific Northwest to what they were seeing down that way across Portland, and then getting closer to parts of the California coast down in San Francisco. They were more so in the low to mid 50s. We were in the 60s, getting closer to the 70s. Yeah, we've cooled down here, and our numbers are quite a bit cooler by about 10 degrees across a lot of our locations. So the chillier air mass is going to bring us more the 50s and low 60s this afternoon for highs. You can see Chehalis is still sitting in the upper 40s here into the early afternoon. Now, the radar is looking a little active here across parts of the Pacific Northwest, and more importantly, what we're seeing farther to the south, thunderstorm activity down into Oregon. Our thunderstorms came through earlier into the day, so that was around 7 to 8 o'clock this morning. We'll get another opportunity with this next wave of moisture that's going to head northward as we still see this area of low pressure spinning down into California. Now, it's going to slowly start to get on out of here, but once we go deeper on into the day, it's going to be these line of showers right here that you're going to see start to make their way up into parts of Washington. And then we're going to have a little more energy across eastern Washington with the sunshine out there, and that's going to heat things up across those parts. While we're going to see more of the clouds over this way, we'll still have some opportunities for thunderstorms, but again, not going to be nearly as strong as what they're expecting farther to the east. So how does it play out? Well, we go deeper into the day, and our chances, again, are going to be more hit or miss with the showers and storms, and then we go deep into the night, and we start to see some of this rain arriving. And then this is going to be steady rain, not much thunderstorm activity, but steady, sort of heavy rain at times, but it's moving through at a really consistent rate, and it's going to be around for the morning commute tomorrow, and we're going to keep it into tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow evening, although the showers will be lightening by that time. We'll continue to see fewer of those chances of rain as we go deeper into Friday night, but still some more around as we head into Saturday, and then fewer chances as we go deeper on into Saturday evening and Saturday night, and again, progressively getting drier as we go throughout the weekend. So rainfall amounts, generally I'm thinking we're talking about a half an inch to an inch here around a lot of parts of western Washington. Better chances and the higher amounts will be near Puget Sound and farther to the north. Farther to the west, we're going to keep those rates probably around maybe a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch. Now, there are some areas of snow that are going to be expected here as we go throughout the next couple of days, and that will generally be for Stevens Pass, Crystal Mountain, and White Pass. Since we're going to come more from the easterly direction, we're not going to see any high amounts with this, and snow levels, yeah, they're going to come back down to around 4,500, 3,500 feet Friday and Saturday, but we lose a lot of the moisture by Sunday. But those 2 days right there, Friday and Saturday, will be when we see some of that snow. I know Crystal Mountain's still open for a little while longer, so some fresh powder for folks who might be trying to head up there here into the weekend. Today's forecast. Spotty chances of storms. Overall, though, we're going to be fairly dry, just a lot more cloudy and cooler temperatures in the 50s farther to the north, seeing a few 60s heading southward in Bellevue, Renton, 58 in Linwood. We'll top off at 58 in Bremerton and seeing highs staying more so in the mid to upper 50s as you go farther south, with those chances of storms again starting to come back as we go deeper into the afternoon. Lows tonight dropping into the 40s for most spots, and then we'll head into the day tomorrow. We'll top off only at 53, so not much of a warm up at all throughout the day on Friday. But then we do start to get a little warmer, at least by Sunday, 60 degrees. And as I mentioned, we're trying to warm up deeper on into next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, at least back around averages, maybe even a little above average by next Wednesday. And we could keep that going as we go deeper on into next week, as it looks like some models are suggesting that we could start to see some more of those 70s and 80s like what we had just earlier this week and back last week, around again as we get closer to next weekend. So we'll see how all that plays on out, but definitely going to be a cooler and wetter time here for the next couple of days. Keep an eye out for a few of those lightning strikes out here later this afternoon. I know yesterday's show was pretty impressive, and if you were out this morning, you probably saw a few areas of lightning and thunder too. Stay safe. Also, have a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon.